on in. Hello.
Hi.
Come on in, ladies. If you can please sign in for me, and then grab each of this the worksheets, please. This is the agenda, and then the worksheets we're gonna go over.
Hello, how are you?
How are you? Thank you for coming, Mr. Ladd. Thank you, Mr. Studies, for joining me today. So as I had already discussed with you through the email and when I met with you, today we're going to be going over our school's end of the year procedures. So I pretty much prepared an agenda of the things we're gonna go over. And then I also provided you with a worksheet. You can go ahead and write any notes that will help you in that worksheet. And then I'm gonna go ahead and be emailing you the forms that you actually have to be filling out. Yes? All right. So, Ms. Bernal, I know that this is your first year here with us at Perales, and I know that Mrs. Esteves, this is your second school year. So please, feel free to ask any questions that you might have while I go ahead and explain this form for you.
Alrighty, sounds
All
good.
right, thank you. So the first form we're gonna go over is the classroom maintenance and repair request, which is this one right here. Okay, this form right here, it is divided into different sections, and this form is very important for us to fill out because we provide this form to our facilities and maintenance department so they can go ahead and fix anything that it needs to be fixed for the upcoming school year.
I have a question.
Yes.
For this form, if I happen to be missing like a connection or anything for like my document camera or anything like that, do I report it to the inventory form on like the maintenance, or I'm sorry, the inventory form or the maintenance form?
It would be the maintenance form for technology.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So for the classroom maintenance, like it says right here, it says we have to check off all of the items that need to be repaired in our classroom. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the electrical. Electrical means anything that has to do with like getting broken, missing, or any loose electrical outlet. Especially if it is a hazard, we have to make sure that they all are in working conditions and that they're not broken or loose. So you can please make sure, like, if you do have any of those that are missing, make sure you check it off. Of course, your name, your room number is very important, and the date of the request.
Question, sorry. The little turning for the fan,
The knob.
yeah, the knob, does that go here or that?
Yes, it goes into your electrical area. So if it has to do with anything on the yes, it's electrical.
Oh, the ceiling fan, okay.
Again, anything that has to do with anything broken, missing, the ceiling fan, like the knob, or like the pieces, like sometimes the string goes looses, or if it's not working, make sure that you also submit that in this part. Anything that has to be replaced, like any lightnings, as you can see, this room is missing a light, it went off, so I have to make sure that I check it off before, that way we can go ahead and have it repaired. If any of the lights are flickering as well, make sure that we do turn it in, because again, this is not fixed by the school, it's fixed by the maintenance department. Any questions in the electrical part? Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the construction. So for the construction, again, it says replace any broken or cracked exterior windows. So if you have, if you see that there's anything with the windows, make sure that you do check off in this area. If anything needs to be replaced on our tile floor, once again, sometimes they get chipped with the desk, or the students, they mess with it. So if you see that it can be a hazard, make sure that we also report it, please. Anything that has to be repaired or replaced on the door handle or the lock. Sometimes our door locks don't work well. If it's loose or anything like that, please put it under this tab. And then anything that has to be, again, repaired from the window from our classroom door, it will be under the construction part. Yes, any questions on this?
No, but this is good to know because I do have a broken tile in my classroom. So now I know what to do.
The closet door is in this handle?
Yes, because it is part of the construction.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the plumbing. So the plumbing doesn't really pertain to us unless you have, you are on the first floor, so for you or even you, Ms. Bernal, if you have any stains like from the water that's leaking, or like when it's raining, if you notice anything like that, that is very important for us to report, so they can come out and check it out, with the plumbing department. And then from there, we also have to report it to the environmental department, which I'll go in a bit. But other than that, anything that you see, if you see any water coming even from the floor, make sure that you do report that. I know that last year we did have an incident during summer where this classroom, in fact, the water from upstairs, yes, it was dripping through the wall, and it was because they were waxing. So the water was going through, so they had to fix that part. So again, very important if we see anything of that area. HVAC for the AC department, you don't have to report anything that's working with the custodians, unless you have like any like odor coming from the AC, then you would go under here. But other than that, I know that Mr. Palacios, he is responsible of getting with the HVAC department on coming and fixing anything that has to do with the AC. And finally, we have the environmental part. So on this one right here, when we talk about environmental part, is anything else, again, that can be a hazard and that needs to be fixed. So for example, where it says replace or repair the pencil sharpener, I know that all classrooms should have a pencil sharpener, but in the event that you don't have one, it's loose or it's not working properly, make sure that you put it on this part right here. Again, I know that sometimes our students, they force on it, or they move it like with a lot of force and they get loose. I know that some of them, some of the classrooms, they don't have a pencil sharpener anymore because of that. So just make sure that you please report it in this part, that way we can make sure that it can get fixed again during the summer. Any graffiti on the wall, if there is any graffiti that you see like this one's right here where we have some marks, again, make sure that you report on this side, because again, they do come and they try. If it's something that is like with, of course, it's not allowed, but some students bring like the permanent markers, and they write on the wall, that does need to be painted. So anything that you see, make sure that you report it. If you have a question as to should I report it or not, feel free to contact any of the administrators, or you can ask me or your pathfinders, and they'll be able to tell you.
Well, I had a question about the graffiti thing. If there happens to be like small writing, or even like how you were saying, like Sharpie on the desk, would that be something to report with the form, or is that something that we would clean off ourselves?
Well, if we can clean it off, like for example, on our daily routines, our students help us clean the desk. If it's something that can be taken off, then we can go ahead and just clean it in the classroom. But if it's something, again, like with permanent marker that does need to be taken off, yes, please go ahead and report it.
Okay.
Repair, replace whiteboard, chalkboard. I think that pretty much our chalkboards are in good condition, but if you feel again that they are chipped, that they're broken, or that they're loose, please again report it, so we can go ahead and make sure that they come and put it properly. Any ceiling tile, any cookie sheet, for example, like in this room right here, I do see there was one cookie sheet over there that was loose, so they had to come and fix it. The light, if you can see the light over there, it is a little bit like uneven, so I have to make sure that I report that so they can come and fix it, especially because again, it is a hazard, it can fall, and we want to avoid an accident. Another thing, for example, on the desk, there are some student desks that are kind of like wobbly because it gets loose from the bottom. That also reported is very important. I do have here like about 2 desks that have that, and it is kind of uncomfortable for the students, and because they are uneven. So once again, make sure that you do fill out that in this particular document.
Can we also fill this form out if like the desks are like slanted, where the front is higher than the one over here in the back?
Yes, you can. I know that sometimes they do report it like with the custodians, and the custodians, I think they do
fix
something
it.
to fix it.
They have the key.
But if it's something to do with it actually that is missing this gray,
part?
yes, this gray part, that we do have to report it because this is what is making it uneven.
Okay.
And that would be right here on the
Under
environmental.
environmental, yes. Okay, like right here we have the other, so if there are any other things that pertain to environmental, you can go ahead and fill it out right here.
Okay.
Any questions with this?
No,
So far, no.
All right, thank you. So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to move on to the technology and furniture environmental inventory form, I'm sorry. So on this one, as it reads right here, please list all technology and furniture items found in your classroom or office. And these are just some of the examples that are listed here, but we do have to make sure that we document everything here because as you know, Mrs. Tevis and Ms. Bernal, just for your information, during the summer, everything's taken out of our classrooms and they are fully cleaned, including the floors are waxed and everything. So all the furniture, they do take it out, they clean the rooms, and then they bring it back at the beginning of the next school year. So that way we can go ahead by filling out this form, our custodians will know where to put the things back in the classrooms. Okay.
I have a question for the furniture, because I'm looking at it. Do I have to list every single student chair and desk individually, like one chair, one desk, one chair, or do I just put like total number, like
Yes.
28 chairs, 28
Yes, just
desks?
total numbers,
Okay.
yes. When it has to do with chair, with the student desks, yes, just go ahead and put the total because we do have like more than one. We have a lot of desks and a lot of chairs. We do have like the description item. Of course, we're going to write the description item here. And it says, the second column says UISD tag, okay? Especially the technology, not all the furniture, but the technology, anything that has to do with the computers, with the IP boards, with the printers, that does have a UISD tag. And is usually located on the back of the monitors or on the side of the monitors or printers.
That's what I was gonna ask, the printer.
Yeah, so in the printer is usually on the side. The majority of the teachers, I've seen it on the side. If you don't see it on the side, it should be on the back. And so then, once in a while it is placed on the bottom, but it's rarely placed on the bottom. If for whatever reason, your printer, your monitor, the IFP does not have a UIZ tag, please make sure you contact our technology, Mr. Molina, so he can go ahead and come and help us, because sometimes they have it in their inventory and they can go ahead and come and give in case it fell off or it fell off.
And this might be a silly question, but for the IFP, like the pens,
Mhm.
do we list those in this as well, since it's like the technology for the IFP?
No, we do have an additional form for that
Okay.
one, and I'll go over it in a bit, but that's a good question because it's part of the IFP, which is the technology. But that one, I'll go ahead and go over with you in a bit.
Do we put the iPads here too?
Yes, anything that has to do with the technology, yes, we go ahead and put the iPads. Those you do have to put in individually if they do have a UIZ tag. Okay? So on this one, once again, on the furniture and inventory, make sure that you put your, like for the shelves, the cabinet file, and all the other tables that are in your classrooms, put a big paper and your room number.
Okay.
That way that our
The table.
custodians know,
Yeah.
they can go ahead and have, they're gonna come back to the room. The teacher desk, anything, any big furniture, that you list here, also make sure again that you put, your room number. That way all the
Okay.
students know that it has to be back, to what, room to bring it back, please. Yes? Okay. Just one more thing. For the item on the last, quantity, again, like I said, the student chairs and the student desk, just go ahead and put student desk and then the quantity and the chairs as well. The condition, this is where that's important for us to also write the condition, especially, once again, with the student desk, like Ms. Bernal mentioned, that sometimes they're wobbly. On those here, you can just put, I have 20, good condition, 3 need to be repaired. And you already wrote it in the previous one. But go ahead and just make sure we write it down here. Okay? And then, the checklist, okay? So these are some, this is the final checklist that we're gonna go over. Then at the end, if you have any additional questions, so we should go ahead and go over the form really quick. The instructional materials, what it is that, for example, any headphones that we might have that are used like for testing, make sure that those ones are turned into Ms. Perales, which is our academic coordinator. You can go ahead and just write the number of headphones that you have here. and turn them into her. We do have a classroom checklist, and that one you will turn in with Ms. Davila or with Dr. Vasquez, depending who is in charge of your grade level. So you're gonna go ahead and turn it in, and on this one, I am going to explain a little bit more in detail. So our first check says bulletin boards clean. I know that a lot of us have a lot of materials, or charts and notes for our students. They do have to be cleaned out before we leave for the end of the school year. So like all of your panels and all of your boards, they do not need to be clean because again, they are cleaned by our custodians during the summer. So we do have to make sure that they are clean. The second one says no clutter, boxes, tubs, bins, etc. Again, everything we have to make sure that we leave the room clean, okay? Because once again, it is, whenever we have summer school or they have other programs, remember that they do use our classrooms. So we wanna make sure, especially our personal stuff that we, buy with our monies or, anything that we wanna keep, that we bring to school, we wanna make sure that either you can take it home or you can place it in the closet, okay? But once again, no clutter, so make sure that everything is clean. And that leads to the third one, which is all personal items in the closet. So any boxes, like any dictionaries that you might have or any additional instructional material that is personal that you use in the classroom, go ahead and you need to place it in the closet. Okay, we do have like the shelves in the closet. Make sure that they're on placed neatly. If you want to label them, you can label them. But we do need to make sure that we avoid the clutter because once again, the custodians do clean. And I know that they usually clean also like inside the, the closet, just on the floor.
Just on the floor.
Yes, they do sweep and they do mop. So everything that is, all personal items must be kept there. It is not recommended for any personal items to be left in the cabinet file, nor our desks. I know that we do have our keys, the keys, and those keys, you can lock the cabinet file and the desk, but again, when our custodians move our furniture out,
So it's best to
sometimes,
empty it out.
yes, you
Okay.
can empty it out, you can just put it in the closet.
Okay.
That would be my best bet. Walls free of contact, tape, or glue. Again, I know that we do face a lot of things on our walls for, our anchor charts and things like that. We do ask for every teacher to remove everything from the wall. The walls, again, have to be free of everything, okay? For example, those ones that are over there, I do have to remove it at the end of the school year. All the tape, because I know we do use a lot of glue, like Gorilla Glue and all of that glue that is supposed to be safe for walls, but that sometimes, it's very strong
It'll
and
chip
when,
everything.
yes. So,
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yes.
If I need the paint, which one do I put it on?
if you need for it to be painted, you need to look at the first form right here.
I think this one right here.
Yes, the environmental, and there's one that says, right here, like, paint over graffiti on wall. Even if it's a graffiti wall, you can write it here on the other, but it will be under environmental.
Okay.
Yes. And I know that last year, Dr. Vasquez was the one that was in charge of that, and she came to the classroom and to make sure that you need to check. She was the one who told us, like, this one's okay, or no, this one's fine, or we have to remove it. Especially with what I've seen is with the glue, because that one, and then there's some tape, I think
The duct tape.
the duct tape, yes, that's the one that kind of harms our walls, so we just have to make sure, that way they can come and they can paint it there. Once again, make sure that it's written here, especially if our walls do need any kind of fixing, that way they can go ahead and the environmental department or construction department works on it in the summer. All right? Any questions on the classroom checklist?
No, so far not.
All right, so for Mr. Vargas, our librarian, so Mr. Vargas, at the beginning of the school year, he gave us a box or and a container,
Okay.
right? And that container, there was your laptop or your Chromebook with, I believe it was your charger,
Or is it
And-
the keyboard?
the keyboard,
Yeah.
and I know the IEP pens were inside, right? So that is what we're going to be returning to Mr. Vargas, okay? If, I know that he does have an extra form, And, let me see if I have that form in the box, let me check really quick. So you do have a box right
It's
here.
a good checklist. It has the two keyboards, the keyboard for that one and that one.
Do we have to turn in that one also?
I think so.
I think I saw the paper.
See, like you, that you've been in that role like the first year, you might have some things on the walls that you kind of want to fix.
Yeah,
Because when I
have to
got there
check
on
through.
mine, the blue part was like missing a lot of things.
It's because I have the broken tile, that's what I was
I
asking
know
earlier.
that sometimes he
in my
uses a
closet.
copy.
Cause the previous teacher left a box on the floor in the closet and I was like, never tried pulling it off, it was
Oh.
stuck. So when I did, the tile came off, I was like, oh.
Yeah, so yeah, that one, just go ahead
Yeah.
and put it there so they can go ahead and fix it. No, Mr. Vargas does usually give you a form, and it's divided, it says right there, like Chromebook, tag number, and then the IEP pens, the keyboard, and he double, checks with you to make sure that he has the same tag number that you have on your documents, okay?
Is this the
And-
one that they signed? Sorry.
Yes.
The initial?
Yes, thank you for reminding me, Mrs. Davis. Yeah, so for this form, each administrator, whoever's in charge of it, Ms. Perales, Ms. Avila, Dr. Vasquez, once they are cleared, they do check off on this and they put their initials. One thing that I forgot to mention for the instructional materials, like if you use, for example, for ELAR, you use like Sirius or
For teachers?
yeah, all the teacher editions for the books, those are the ones that are turned into Ms. Perales.
Okay.
Make sure that, you list here what you're turning into her, and for her to initial, that way you have your documentation of what is it that you turn in, so it can be given back to you next school year.
Okay.
Okay? So going back to the library with Mr. Vargas, again, the library book, the novel set, if you do have any, novel sets, those ones, you go ahead and turn it in with Mr. Vargas. My suggestion would be for you to type a sheet of paper, a blank sheet of paper, and with that, blank sheet of paper, go ahead and write the novel sets and how many you're turning in. Everything, my recommendation, make sure that someone signs off that you are turning in, because again, we have so many teachers and everybody's turning in at the same time. We wanna make sure that, we're all on the same page.
Okay,
So,
I do have a question in regard to the books. I've had books, they were already there in that bookshelf, the rolling
Mhm.
one. Do I have to return those also? Cause I have like 4 different sets of different books.
so on that one, go ahead and check with Mr. Gonzalez, because I know
Okay.
that some were purchased with the ELAR money, from the department money, and they were giving us by Mr. Gonzalez. So
Okay.
if those were given by Mr. Gonzalez, I think on those ones, as long as you keep him in your, closet.
Okay,
But the other ones that whoever, if they are coming from the library, I think those are the ones that you do turn in,
okay,
yes, to Mr. Vargas. But if they're bought with our like department money, I think those are kept in the classroom. But just on that one, you can double check with Mr. Gonzalez. I know that I think last year he did give some sets, but it was with the ELAR money. So since they're separate, budget, they're coming from
Yeah.
separate money, they're kept in different places.
Okay.
I think Mr. Vargas has a list of the
What needs to be
copies that are
returned?
his,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
That we can check out, but that they're theirs. And if they're not on the list, well, I think they probably belong in your phone.
Okay.
You can ask them for it.
Yes, thank you. Again, the teachers with flat panels, and right now all the classroom have flat panels, keyboard, the red and black pen, and the document camera with the connection. So you do have an actual box that has for the keyboard, so make sure that the keyboard is there, make sure that the keyboard is off, don't leave it on for the summer.
The batteries.
The batteries, take out the batteries as well, and the red and the black pen, make sure, that both pens are there. I know that not all teachers have document cameras, I know that it was given in the bin, but I did see some teachers returning it to Mr. Vargas, because they were not gonna use it. So, if you, for whatever reason, he asked you to keep it in the container, make sure that, when you take it back, double check, even though when we sign out at the beginning of the school year, we check the ID numbers. I would just recommend, again, as we are giving back the materials, make sure that we do check the tags, so we can make sure that, once again, we have so many teachers and, numbers can get, mixed up, so just double check whenever you with him, because remember, you do have to sign
yeah,
that those equipment was turned in. And then for elective teachers, if you have any like document cameras, I know that every teacher does have a Chromebook. So if you're going to be keeping your Chromebook, make sure that in the form that Mr. Vargas has, you're right there, that you're going to be keeping the Chromebook. That way he'll know, especially if you're doing summer school, you can go ahead and keep it. I know that for that, or if you're working on any other projects for the summer, I know that they let us keep the Chromebooks as well. So, feel free to ask him on that and document all the information. Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and just review really quick on the forms, and then I'm gonna go ahead and answer any additional questions you might have. Anything that has to do with the end of the school year, some things that are still on we don't know. Okay, there's some sort of things that we're pending as far as the end of the school year, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to answer as much as I can. All right, so let's go ahead and get started once again with the maintenance form. Just like it says right here, please check off any of the following items that need to be repaired, and you need to turn in this form along with the checkout list. So once again, on the electrical part, I'm going to kind of write it a little slower. Make sure that you check off if you have any broken, missing, or loose electrical outlets, or if they're not working as well. I know that I did have a teacher that the outlet was not working, so make sure that you report that and be very specific as to which one. That way they'll know. Okay. Any broken or missing, or again loose ceiling fan knob, any broken, missing electrical plate, any broken, missing, or loose ceiling fan. That is something big. If you turn on your fan and you see that your fan is moving more than a normal, in the highest speed, go ahead and report it, because it can be something with the cookie sheet or something actual with the ceiling fan. So make sure to report that. Repair, replace any lights in the closet. So if you have light in the closet and it needs to be repaired, also please fill that out in this part. Repair or replace any lights in the class. If the lights are flickering or any of the light panels are out like this one, this is where you report it. Excuse me. The construction, replace any broken, cracked exterior windows. I know that Mrs. Deves and Ms. Bernal, both of you have your windows facing, out. This one's facing the main hall or the mall area. Make sure that you do replace those as well. Make sure that you report that so it can be replaced. Replace or add any floor tiles. So like Ms. Bernal, you mentioned that in your closet. Go ahead and just make sure that you put it here, and once again, kind of specify where it is. Replace, repair, replace door handles or locks. I know that's something very important for the district, that we do have our locked doors policy. So if you feel that it's loose or you have any problems with that, please report it. Repair window from classroom door. Again, I know our windows are kind of thin, but if you need to report it, please report it there. When it comes to the plumbing, again, check or repair plumbing if you see any stains in the cookie sheets. As again, this is a 2-story building. If you see any stains, like brown stains or things like that, please report it. We don't have to worry anything about gas pipes, just or outlets, so just go ahead on that part. And for the HVAC, only if you see anything leaking from the HVAC, like water leaking or like an odor, if you smell like an unusual odor, you will report it here at the end of the school year. If it's something that you feel is an urgency, you can go ahead and talk to Mr. Palacios and report it immediately. Okay. Environmental, replace, repair any pencil sharpeners if it's loose. You put it on this part. Any, again, paint over the graffiti on the wall. Replace whiteboard, chalkboard. Replace or add any ceiling tile cookie sheet. Once again, those are very, very important. Everything's important, but anything that has to be like loose on the ceiling, again, we have students or even us, we want to avoid any accidents.
I have a quick question for the maintenance firm. Do I fill this out, or would I need to tell you, Mr. Palacios, about the empty hand sanitizer? The one that's there on the side, it's always empty. Who would I be able to ask to
That would be with the
replace?
custodians, yes.
Do I need to fill this out
No.
and just put it in other?
No, that would be with the custodians.
Okay.
Yes, they'll be able to replace it during the school year. And that's a good thing that we need to mention that, because I know that sometimes they forget, but they do need to make sure that they fill out the hand sanitizer dispenser. Yes. Replace overhead screen. So I don't think we do have any overhead screens here, but just like the IFP. And repair, replace TV. So I do know that there are some classrooms, especially like the special education units, those are the ones that have like a TV. Those, this would be for them. And then the second one, again, the technology and furniture inventory form. Any, any technology and furniture items that are found in the classroom do have to be reported here. Just in summary, really quick, chairs in student desks, you don't have to put each one individually, just put the quantity and the condition. My recommendation would be, if you have any desks that do have to be repaired, put a paper on it, needs to be repaired, and write your room number. That way it's already here, and you already wrote it on a piece of paper on the desk. So that's what I did last school year. Student desk, once again, that you don't have an UID tag, so just write the quantity and the condition. The bookshelves, the cabinet files, again, those do have to put your paper with your room number, whenever, that way they can know where to bring it back. The phone, the monitor, the printer, the IFP, those do have a UID tag, so make sure that the tag, you put in, I know that the IFP is on the back.
I was thinking.
Yes, it's on the back, so just make sure you write the tag number and the condition, okay?
It's easier for me to take a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the best bet, take a picture, because they don't, like in the elementary, they remove them. You can move
Yeah,
them.
I thought these
Uh-huh.
would move also
And
when I
this
first
one,
got
no.
here.
This one, no.
It would
And
have been cool.
it will, because especially like, for, like, we have different heights of teachers. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes I have to be tippy-toeing when I'm writing. Okay, and then the instructional materials, again, anything that has to do with instructional, the teacher editions, do have to be turned into Ms. Perales, or a classroom checklist with Ms. Davila or Dr. Vasquez, depending on the grade level that you fall under. I know that some of you teach 2 grade levels, so just check with your Pathfinder what grade level you fall under. And this has to be with the bulletin boards, make sure that they're clean, no clutter, including our closet. We have to make sure that everything is well organized in the closet, and all personal items in the closet. If you feel more comfortable taking it home, just take it home, but they can be placed in the closet, and they do not open the closet in the summer. So things are safe there.
Will Ms. Avila and Dr. Vasquez walk into the classroom,
Yes.
check, and then sign off?
Yes. And then the last one, walls free of furniture, tape, or glue. On that one, again, I know that Dr. Vasquez last school year, she did come, and there were some things that she did report it. So all of these items, the administrators do come in, they check off on it to make sure that everything is clear. Okay, and then of course the last one, Mr. Vargas, on this one, if you do have books or a novel set, like Mrs. Davies mentioned, or she shared with us, he does have a list of the ones that pertain to him, right, that belong to him. So on those ones, make sure you fill it out for him. And then the other ones, check with Mr. Gonzalez, your Pathfinder. He should be able to tell which ones were bought with ELR money. And with flat panels, once again, we just have to make sure we turn this in that pertains to the flat panels. Okay, I know that we're barely in April, we still have 1 more month, but we do have STAR coming up, and we're gonna be very busy. So I am recommending teachers to start looking into these items, at least the student desk, things that you already know that you can fill out. They will be, the sooner that you start, the better. It is due May 20th, that's our due date, to make sure that you turn it into to the administrator so they can go ahead and double check. Do you all have any questions on the forms?
No, I was just gonna ask about the deadline, but you got to it.
Yes, it will be May 20th. So this is what I know that this is your first year, and you may be a little bit overwhelming. So, I'm gonna go ahead and have one of the teachers be with you and to help you and guide you. But if you have any questions, feel free to email me, or call me, and I'll, be glad to help you during my planning period. The same with you, Mrs. Davis. I know that this is your second year here at Perales, and, there's things that we do once a year, so we tend to forget. feel free to give me a call. If there's anything I can help you ladies, I'll be more than glad to assist you.
Oh, yeah, I will definitely be bothering you with a lot of questions, because I know during now, like, it's just sinking in, but then when I'm doing it, I'm like, what do I do about this? What do I do about that?
Yeah.
Then it'll slowly start
Oh,
coming
it's
in.
perfectly normal, but, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to.
And then, the IFPs, we turn them off for the summer, right? Or
Yes.
unless they're gonna use it for summer school?
Yes.
Just the IFP, not the monitor.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, the monitor, we leave it like that,
The computers, we leave them on, right?
the computers, I'm gonna check with Mr. Molina, cause I know that last year we had summer school. This year, we don't have summer school here during the summer, it's gonna be during May. So I don't know if those, those things are going to change. But I will ask him and I will definitely let you know. Okay?
Awesome.
Thank you so much, I appreciate ladies coming in today.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
This was
Thank
very
you.
helpful and informational.
It is.